Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with another edition of No, It Took Me Some Time, Ready to Love. We are back for season 10, episode 2. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well, doing a little cleaning today, so y'all hear me huffing and puffing is because I'm getting into it. All right, so let's talk about the new episode. We got a whole crop of new singles and 2 old singles coming back for this group. Let's just get into some introductions. Y'all know it's a lot of people. I did my best. Y'all know how I am these first 2 episodes. So the first person we're introduced to is Coley. Coley is a flight attendant. Flight attendants have quite a history on Ready to Love, some good, some bad. If you've been around, then you already know. But Coley says although she's able to meet a lot of people while she's out doing her flight attending, nothing really lasts because it's travel, right? So she never really gets to put down roots with anybody. She also says she tends to come off as very intimidating to some men, and no man should be intimidated by a beautiful woman, but she's hoping to find her person here on Ready to Love. The next person we meet is Fritz. Fritz is 36. Now, he says on the show, I'm in wealth management, but then it says financial analyst. But I like how wealth management sounds. He's done a lot of traveling, been to several different countries, 5 different continents. And he also, same thing, is traveling is cool, but I'm ready to find somebody I can do it with. He says that he's not a pseudo alpha male that rushes sex, but when he finds his one, expect to be having sex on balconies all over the world. Sounds like a good time to me. Sounds great to me. The next person we meet is Cam. Cam is 33. He's a firefighter, and he says that a lot of times people get caught up in the hype of him being a firefighter and the fantasy, but they don't really get to know him for him. And I can believe that because even Coley, with her slow self gonna ask, is there a pole that you guys really slide down? Is there a Dalmatian there? So I can see that probably being a possibility. Next person we meet is Tay. Tay is 35. She's a nurse. I'm going to tear this word up. Anesthetist. I hope I said it right. Her career has definitely gotten in the way of her finding love. She says that once she is focused on a specific purpose, she kind of zeroes in on it. And that's what she did with her career. So she's been missing that love aspect, and she's hoping to be able to find it now. Then we meet Cisco, or Francisco, Cisco for short. And yes, this is a yes. In physical attraction only. I don't know about the rest. He is 41 and he works in housing. However, he also likes to help children with confidence and just building themselves up. He also took up bodybuilding not too long ago after his breakup. He kind of focused on himself, focused on getting healthier, focused on his body, working out, prayer, all of the things. And it has paid off for him, has it not? To God be the glory for all of the wonderful things that he has done. But Cisco, I'm gonna tell y'all about Cisco a little bit more in a minute. But what I will say is, was he on pre-workout? Because I know it was hot outside, but wasn't nobody sweating quite like Cisco was. Did y'all notice that? All right, we meet Rocky. Rocky is 36. She is a medical QA specialist. She is looking for a man who has facial hair. And I actually felt her on this. Now, she said she ain't looking for a naked mole rat or a pedophile. She didn't have to say all that. But I will say, whenever I see a man who has no facial hair and like he shaved it all off, it just screams criminal activity. I don't like it. I know it's not fair that I say that, but I just really don't like it. You don't have to have a full beard, but just no goatee, no chin hair, no stubble, no mustache. I just get concerned. I get very concerned about it. So I felt her on that. Then we have Khalil. Khalil is 31. He is a roofing company vice president. He has a little story that he ends up telling a little bit later that I'll get into. But we find out Khalil is very much a traveler as well. He's just hoping to find his person on this show. He feels like love is important and he doesn't want to wait any longer. Next up, we meet Rose. This actually isn't the best shot of her, so that's my bad. But she's 38. She's a hairstylist, and she is very much my man, my man, my man. She's ready to meet her man. She need a man. Forget what everybody else talking about. I need somebody to help me reach up to the top of the cabinets, and I want my man. All right, she want a man. ASAP. She does have one child, a son, and says that had she not have had her son at a younger age, she wouldn't have pushed as hard for her goals as she does now, and wouldn't be the person that she is now, the woman she is today. We meet Hussein. He's 42. He is a visual manager. Used to be into basketball a lot. Used to play a lot of ball. I think he said he was 6'7". So y'all know the women was swooning. Y'all know they love them tall men. But he's more into visuals now, interior design, interior decorating. He's kind of forged a whole new career path now. So that's what he's into. Then we have Shanice. Shanice is 44. Now, she describes herself as like a serial entrepreneur, but she says she does residential rehabilitation right now. And Shanice is the one actually who got everybody up to have a toast because she's just grateful to be there. But we find out a little bit later, which we'll talk about, Shanice is a very busy woman. And so that has prevented her from dating in the past. Okay, now that we got that out the way, I can start getting into some of the connections that happened during the mixer. Oh, and Sahara and Will are back as well because, they got a second chance. So I'm going to start with Shanice and Cisco. They had a cute little conversation. Shanice was talking about, again, how sometimes other things get in the way, you get in your routine. And Cisco could relate because he has his whole routine of what he does with the gym and going to do his thing with work. And then he goes back home. She has something similar. So they related on that. And that's when he talks about just the changes that he made as far as his work versus other things he started to do on the side. Cisco has taken his shirt off at this point. And Shanice tells him, you did the right thing. That's what you needed to do. Thank you so much. Because it's very hot in there for him. So he did take his shirt off yet again, took it off outside and took it off when they got inside to have a more quiet conversation as well. Hussein and Coley have a conversation. The conversation was cringy. Coley, she talks about how all she needs right now is for her man to be attractive and tall. Like those are the main things for her. And she just lets God take care of the rest. Hussein was turned off by it, felt like they didn't really have like a conversation of substance or didn't get to go any deeper. But Coley, is very dangerous for you just to want a man that's cute and then leaving it up to God because you need to have some type of process about yourself. You need to have a little bit more that you like in somebody. I know you're a tall woman, and I know sometimes the tall men get with the four girls that's 4'11", but I need you to have a little bit more criteria for yourself. Cam has Sahara blushing, which was really cool to see. I must mention that Sahara had the help of a love potion this time around. Yes, y'all, she wore her, the Chanel number to get your ass together, get in here and be my husband number 5. And she said she gonna just need a little help from some of the spiritual side, some of the ancestors. So yeah, Sahara got that. Now, she does end up having a sit down. I don't have a photo of it, but she has a sit down with Fritz a little bit later. And we also learned that Sahara is a flat earther. So I no disrespect to my flat earthers out there, but they ain't nobody got time. We don't have time. Rocky and Khalil have a good conversation where they compare tattoos, but the tattoo comparison ends up leading into a conversation about a sleeve that he has. And the sleeve is in honor of his brother who committed suicide not too long ago. He worked with him in the family business. Losing him was a tremendous loss for their family. You can tell he's still actually having a hard time with it. But he says what he learned from the whole situation was that you have to love on people and that life is short. And he can't leave this world without having that person, his person, that he can pour into. Rocky and Khalil are having such a good time that they're not really talking to other people. And we know on Ready to Love that spending all your time with one person, although it feels great, it usually ends up being a problem later on. Then we have, who is this? Will and Coley. Another very awkward conversation, really between two awkward people, but Coley's a little less awkward. She's trying to talk to Will about various things, and Will's just doing a lot of laughing. I think it's a nervous action, but it's not doing him any favors whatsoever. Not to mention he's hot and the sweat is falling down on his face. It's just bad. Eventually, we kind of see Will go off and talk to one of the guys, Cam. And I don't know if he was looking for a boost or a word of encouragement or somebody to relate to him. But Cam even noticed that Will was nervous and said he need to just relax. He needs to have some confidence. Will isn't even an ugly man. That's the unfortunate part about it. And he is just so nervous. It is just sad to watch. Now, Cam and Rose, they seem like a good match, right? And we have yet to see what's going to happen. But the problem is going to be with them is that she's using the term spiritual, but I got a feeling it's religion. And Cam is neither spiritual or religious. He just doesn't do any of that. He grew up very religious. Once he became an adult, he put all that away. He doesn't really do that. He doesn't have a problem if you do it. Most people who aren't religious don't. However, asking them to conform to whatever it is you're doing is going to be a problem. I am one of those girls. Listen, I've tried it both ways. I've tried to date somebody that was in the church. Hardcore, that wasn't for me. I've tried to do, they weren't very religious. That definitely isn't for me. I can't. I just cannot. You need to believe in something. You need to believe in something, and you need to be able to practice it, which would be more of a religious aspect. But I just can't be with somebody who, if you are a Christian believer and you're trying to be with somebody who doesn't believe at all, it is probably going to be a struggle. It's not that it can't be done, but it is going to be a struggle. On top of that, Cam used to not want kids. Now he does want children. Rose is 38, Cam is 33. It can happen. She still can have children and all of that. However, how many kids you want? You know, he's 33. He's younger. So these are things we have to consider. Now, Tay had a conversation with most of the men there. She's a hit with just about everybody. She had a really good conversation with Fritz. I think she had a decent conversation as well with Cam. It seems like the men are pretty much into her, but she's making Cisco specifically blush, and that's got to be pretty hard to do. She's talking to him about various things that have gone on in his life. He is talking about his last relationship. He tells us that her insecurities became too much. He thought she was the one. They were together 3, maybe 4 years, ended up breaking up. He does say it was confusing because he ends up saying, yes, I've cheated in the past. And it almost sounds like I cheated on her. And so that's why I was like, well, then it would make sense that she was insecure. But he says that when he did cheat, he was young. So I'm guessing he's not talking about that relationship. He's talking about a different one. Now, Tay, her vibe does change just a bit when he mentions cheating, because in her last relationship, yes, she was cheated on. So she does say that did kind of perturb her a little bit, but she's not going to get up and run out the door just because you've cheated in the past. If you're young and you say you've grown past those things, then you deserve another chance to prove that you're a different person. Shanice came through. She was a stunner, girl. She had the gloves on. She had the titties out. She had them greased up, but she's not executing this mixer correctly. She's not following through on the outfit. The outfit gives fun girl, vibrant girl, good time girl. The conversation is given business, business, business. And guess what? More business. She's bombing all of her conversations. Her one with Cisco was okay, but even that one wasn't very great. For Cisco to be her type, then she should have been talking about, a little bit more than, our routines can get in the way of dating. Even though he related, they weren't really getting to know each other like that. And she's making that same mistake with everybody else. She's talking a lot about business, entrepreneurship, her being super ambitious. That's wonderful. Wonderful. However, we are here to get to know one another. So she kind of bombs out with Cam. She kind of bombs out with, I want to say Fritz, I believe, or maybe Khalil, one of those. It's just not going well in that sense of things. So she needs to work on that and reel it back in. Once nephew Tommy arrives back, we have to decide who we like, who we don't like, because of course somebody is getting eliminated. Now, y'all know I was piping fish grease hot because I said it's not fair that y'all are doing an elimination and everybody cannot meet all of the singles, right? So I was hoping that there was going to be another curveball, and there was. So first, we'll talk about who the men liked and who they didn't like. Who they liked immediately, Tay, and Tay. Tay was all over everybody's mouth. Rose also came up a couple of times. Some people, Khalil liked Rocky. So there were some names floating around, but Tay was definitely in the top. Who ended up being in the bottom was the one, Colby, the flight attendant, y'all, because I'm going to get her name wrong. Her and Shanice, they both ended up being in the bottom. One of them talked too much about their business, Shanice, and then the other one, there was just no substance in her conversation. I didn't really feel like I got to know anything about her. So those are the men's tops and those are the men's bottoms. Tops and bottoms. Now for the ladies, who ended up being in the top was Cam. A lot of people like Fritz. They love his travels. They're very enamored with his travels. Tay made a good point. She wants a man to teach her something. So a man that's done as much as he has will be great for me. Khalil, mainly Rocky's top. Really just for her, because Khalil was in a lot of people's bottoms because they didn't get a chance to talk to him because he was talking so much with Rocky. So a lot of the women was just like, oh, I don't know anything about him. He wasn't making his rounds. But Cam tended to make it to the top. And of course, good old Cisco made it to the top. So in the bottom was Khalil, and Will was also in the bottom again. So we move on. We get to the end. We tell everybody that somebody has to be eliminated, and Will gets called out to be on the chopping block. And y'all, now I understand Will had to go home, but I do not understand why Nephew Tommy had to let everybody know that he was on the chopping block the last time and he came back and all of the people decided again that he should have to go home. Like, we could have kept that private. Everybody could have found out about that when the other singles got there or when they watched the show back. We didn't have to talk about that. We didn't have to do that. Not in front of him. Let's talk about him when he leaves. I felt bad for him, y'all. I felt bad for him. But Will is like the real life Joker minus the killing. And I need him to get that uncontrollable laughter together. I need that to happen because he's a handsome man. He seems to be in decent shape. He was in 2 marriages that didn't last longer than a year. Something is up. And then he says, I've been rejected by a lot of beautiful women in my life. It's been happening all my life, so it's no surprise. But there's an issue there, and it's not necessarily the women. So I want Will to dive a little deeper because he has the things. But that laughter and not being able to have a conversation is a problem. And look, y'all, this one might not be here too much longer either. Now, she's in the bottom. And Nephew Tommy says, what if I were to tell you that you have the opportunity to get the same chance that Will got before to meet all of the other singles? And she was like, I would tell you, don't even waste my time. She get to snapping and carrying on. Do you understand what he's telling you? No, y'all, she don't understand. What he's saying is there's other people you haven't met. You so doggone dumb trying to get an attitude real quick. You don't even realize, baby, he not about to waste your time. He actually trying to give you another chance to be on the show. And that's what we've been begging for. Don't make us look like no fool when we've been asking for Ready to Love to be fair about these first episode eliminations. Don't make me cuss Coley. All right. So when she hear that, she like, oh, if you would listen with your ears and quit talking with your mouth, then you would understand. Anyway, y'all. That was the end of Ready to Love. This review is short. It really wasn't too much going on. You know, it don't get really juicy until the 3rd or 4th episode. So we will see what we have coming up next. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.